Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque Painting Live on Thursday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we are working on our Christmas in July box that we shipped the first week in July. And Courtney's getting our lights set up for us, so welcome everyone. And these are the finished ornaments from the Christmas in July box. We have our painted out set of the red and green that was antique. We'll be antiquing. We have our blue set that we color washed and dry brushed, and then we have our purple set that we painted out and we're going to dry brush a little bit and paint a little bit. So we did 3 different techniques with this box, so that made it kind of fun for you guys. Great for a learner box, so we'll push these guys aside. We finished up our blue ones last week, so this week we'll work on our purple ones. And we had base coated them on our first night. So they're nice and dry, so they'll dry brush really good. So I'm just going to refer back to my instructions a little bit, and you guys had these in your boxes as well. So we did number 1. Let's see, base coat both ornaments with our darkened purple, touch up the dark purple areas of the coat. So anytime you base coat, you want to go back and look for any spots that you missed and you don't want to be able to see through your bisque, white bisque, through your dark color. So we are going to paint our boy's hat black. So we use our Duncan acrylic stains or acrylic paints. Some companies call them stains, some call them paints. So we have our Duncan OS 476 black, and we're just going to need a little bit of that. And I just put it on foil so I can roll it up and throw it out, and I don't have to worry about scraping on the tile. So let's see, we have a hat, so I don't need too big of a painting brush, but I need something here in my little tray. And what do we got? I'll probably just go with our size 3. It's just a nylon gold Taklon brush, and I'm going to dip my brush in water first to condition it and then pat it on my paper towel. That helps keep the paint from getting dry on the center of your bristles and then going up into your ferrule as well. And now I'm going to dip into my black. And actually, let me read this here a little more. Let's see where we did our dry brushing part. So it looks like I didn't put the dry brushing part. So I think we're actually going to dry brush our snow first. We're going to back up a step here. The scarves. So I must have missed dry brushing them on you guys. So after number 1, we will, and we're just going to wash that brush out. And we're just going to back up. So I do want to actually dry brush our white areas first. So I'm going to use our lilac for that. Lilac first. OS 450 lilac. So we're just going to back up because I have the instructions. We missed number 2. We should have dry brushed first. So I try to write those down as I'm doing it, but sometimes I get painting and then miss it. So we want a dry brush. I'm going to go with a boar bristle brush, my Royal & Langnickel size 5, and I'm just going to use my flat, dip into my lilac and brush it out on my paper towel. And now I only want to dry brush my light areas where the snow would be. I'm going to put a little bit down inside the square here and then all the way around the rest of it. And you just dry brush lightly by going back and forth. And then we'll let a little bit of the darker purple that we put on the first time left down in the crevices. So I just start on one side and then work my way around. I'll now let this side dry and move on to the next side. If it's wet and shiny, it's going on too wet. If it's wet looking and shiny, you're putting too much on at once. So it's just a nice dry layer of paint basically going on. You can see you keep brushing back and forth and it keeps building up. We'll go right over our snowflake, and we'll paint that with silver or gold later, I don't remember. It's actually silver, so we'll paint that with silver when we get to that point. But we do want to get our lilac down in the background area, so we're just going to brush right over it, and it's okay that your snowflake gets the lilac on it. The silver will cover it up. So we'll just work our way around. See, it goes on pretty quick and pretty easy. So hope everyone had a good week. We had a hot and humid week again. We were supposed to have storms last night. I don't know if we did or not. I heard thunder and lightning, but I was tired and went to bed. So the day before we did have quite a bit of wind. But I don't think last night was as bad as they thought it was going to be. Huh? Courtney says she lost power the day before. I know a lot of people did further north of me, but I didn't. I'm usually pretty lucky with that where I'm at. So I'm just going to get a little bit down in that background square there. Not a whole lot. I do want it a little bit darker than the front square. And then we have to kind of keep turning at different angles so you can get into the different little angles around the hat and the skis. So that was a little bit wet and shiny, so that's that too much that we were just talking about. So I brush that brush out a little more on the paper towel when it does that. We'll get a little more in that background. And we want a fairly even coverage. So like now there's more here and there's less here, so I'm going to work at putting more where there's less, just so it's more even. So we'll keep going. So I hope everyone enjoyed last week's party after party. Courtney's working on getting that all organized yet, so if you haven't heard from her, you will be for anything if you ordered, so she'll just be confirming it. But she's been working on the website and messages and shipping, and so she does have some of the bisque on the Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque.com under the, I gotta think where I've seen it, under the Bisque Box tab. It's gonna get moved. Where it has the Brenda's Bisque Box. It's kind of on the front page of that at the bottom, but she just said she's going to be moving it, so I don't know where it's going to be. She's going to make it cleaner and easier to find. I know it was a little bit hard to find. It was underneath the August box. And for this month, you'll have to message her what you want to add to the box of any of that. But hopefully by the time the next box comes around, you'll be able to just add it to the cart and check out and pay for it, and then she'll know to add it, the items to your box. So she's kind of figured that out over the week, how to get it to work, so it should go a lot smoother as we keep going with it. So hope you guys enjoyed that last week. We are planning another one.
We gave a lot of stuff away.
We gave a lot of stuff. Courtney says we gave a lot of stuff away. Yep, you did give a lot of stuff away, so that was good too. After you added it all up. Yeah. It did go later than we really wanted it to, but we'll try to get more efficient at it and get a better plan. We'll hope to show you the September box on August 12th, and then on August 19th we're going to do the after party again. But not long as that last week, so we'll have it down a little better and it'll make it a little easier. So we're just building up our lilac on here in the meantime while we're talking away. It'll be probably fall and Halloween stuff that'll be related to the August, or the September box, I should say, because we're rolling into fall here. I did notice a few of the maple trees here are starting to turn at the very top in a few places, so maybe we'll be getting rid of some of this heat we got hanging around and humidity. So I just kind of got a pretty even coat now of my lilac on all the sides and on the front. A little less in that little background. I didn't want that quite as bright as the front, so we have that nice depth with it. And now we'll go to our other piece. Gail says Midnight Madness. Yep, it kind of got to be Midnight Madness. Again, so we'll just dry brush our other one here quick too. So Courtney gave me a list of stuff for the 19th, so we'll be working on that. And then she'll be getting it. We'll have some limited items, and then we'll have some that'll be unlimited. So it'll be kind of make it fun. We'll be going to the show that next day. Darn, too bad it wasn't after the show. We might have grabbed some stuff at the show for them.
You do a special, they gonna do like it that Monday.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we do something special from the show.
I plan on doing a few things special.
Because we never know what you find at the show, and we can offer you guys. So now I'm just brushing now onto my sides. I did notice a few more vendors' names were off of the show list. I think about 3 of them. Yep. Yeah, it's getting smaller instead of bigger. I was hoping it was going to get bigger. So we're just working our way around our sides now with our lilac on our second piece. We do have the order in for a Noel, that traditional large Noel Christmas tree for our classroom. So that's a good example. If it's too wet, I got to brush out my brush because that's too much paint at one time. And that's what happens when you're talking too much and not paying attention to what you're brushing out. So we did pre-order that this week to pick up at the show to save on shipping. And I think Courtney's working on our glazer order to pick up at the show. So we're just brushing back and forth here, kind of getting to the front a little bit. We'll go into that background square just a little bit. I don't want it as light as the front one, but I want a little bit in there so we can see that it's back there. Let's see, I picked up some Mako molds this week. We had a couple that got broke on our last order, so we got those replaced. The Jolly Tree didn't come in again, so we're waiting on that. Let me see the koi. We have both koi fish, a frog, and I think the skinny gourd is in there, but I have to look. I gotta look. Didn't look that close when I loaded them up, other than counting how many there were. And we're getting our bottom. You want to make sure you get your bottom. And then your sides as well. So let's see how... Gail says, did you get any of the interlock brushes? I think Courtney put in a order today. I don't know what she ordered.
I'm hoping I have some for the next after party.
So Courtney says she's hoping to have the interlock brushes for our after party on...
Extra. It won't be like a full set. It's probably going to have to be individual brushes. He does not have full sets of brushes right now.
So Courtney says he doesn't have full sets of brushes right now, but we will have... She's hoping to order what she can get.
And just offer it.
And then offer as the individual sizes, so that we'll have those then on the 19th of August. As long as we get them shipped to us, it all depends what we can get.
Quantities might be limited too.
Yep, she thinks quantities might be limited, so supplies are still kind of a little challenge. I've heard people are having trouble getting slip, and fortunately we haven't had that problem, so I don't know where that problem is, but I've heard it. So I'm just getting my lilac here built up to match the other one. Just got a little bit in the background there, and then on the back as well. So we're I do know that they have improved the quality of the interlock brush. I talked to Michael Harbridge yesterday, and they're using a different bristle, and I forgot what he told me it was. But it's supposed to be a better quality bristle brush, so we're happy to hear that. And then Courtney was told by Tom, where we get the brushes, that there's an overall increase also in the price of brushes too. So just like everything else, it seems to be going up. So are our supplies. Okay, so we have our lilac on. Now we're going to go to some white. So we have our white OS 431 white, and we're going to shake that up. Let's see. Any more questions? Not yet. So we'll get a little more white here. Oh, and I don't want to come out. So we are closing the classroom for the month of August. So tomorrow or Saturday will be our last day open for July, and then we will open up the Tuesday after Labor Day. We have to work on getting the garage ready for winter with insulation and getting electric run, and I need to get orders caught back up, and then we also have to get into the storage unit and get what's not on shelves onto shelves, so we can find what you guys are asking for, because right now we have stuff that's not on the shelves, and it's making it a little bit of a challenge. So now I'm just taking our white, our OS 431. I'm using my same lilac brush, and I'm just going over my lilac on my white areas just to whiten it up so it looks more like snow. But it's kind of nice with that color wash. It gives the snow kind of a purple hue to it, so I actually really like that. And it's not just a gray looking snow underneath. So we're just working our way around with our white, letting our dark purple and our lilac show through a little bit. I will not go into my background here. We'll let that look darker. That just gives our piece more depth. And I'm just brushing back and forth with my dry brush here and building up our white, so we have a nice white snowy looking cube or hexagon, I should say. Courtney will be starting invoicing this weekend, or are you waiting till Monday? Because Sunday's the 1st.
Yeah, I'm gonna confirm with people their orders, and then they'll get sent out the 1st.
Okay, so Courtney's gonna confirm with you guys your orders, and then she'll be sending the actual invoices out on the 1st, probably the 2nd as well, and then you'll have till the midnight of the 4th to pay, or if you need another day or whatever, you just let her know. And then we will work on boxing and shipping and getting them out to you. So our next box is that Gourd Box, the large Mako gourd with the Dragonfly on it. And then also we'll be doing a new background technique with it. And then we will also be included in that kit, or the box, will be silk screens, 2 silk screens, one that says Welcome Autumn, and then one with your dragonflies on it. So that's a new technique also. And as the extra, you will also be getting the silk screen medium to thicken the paint,
Just enough to do your project.
to be able to use the silk screen. So it'll be just a little container of silk screen medium. It's not going to be the whole jar. If you do want a whole jar, you can let Courtney know. We were able to get
Can I
huh?
Can I get some?
Silk
You
screen
got it?
medium, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we got 3 cases.
okay.
They're in the car.
So if they already talked to me, I'll
So Courtney says if you already talked to her about ordering the silk screen medium, you'll have it, and then if you don't and you want it, you can let her know if you want the whole regular size Mako container of it. I think it's like a 4-ounce container. It'll probably last you a lifetime, because it doesn't take much to thicken your paint. So that's why we'll be sending just a little bit for this project. For the box, you'll be able to have enough to thicken your paint for the box. But if you do want more, you're going to do silk screens or whatever, you can add the silk screen medium 4-ounce container to your box if you want. We do have extras, and I think we should have plenty. So we're just working our white on here, getting it nice and even, having just a little bit of our dark purple and lilac showing through.
It's $3.35 a jar.
Cordy says it's $3.35 for a jar, and I think it's a 4-ounce jar. Yep, 4-ounce jar. But you can just message her if you want that. So the silk screens, you can actually make your own silk screens if you want. You can go on to Drew Woodward's page, and she has a video on how to do that. But basically, you use a die cut machine like a Cricut. Create your design, cut it out on the heat vinyl. Excuse me, the heat transfer vinyl. We use the Sizer Easy Weed, which is what she also used. And then you iron it onto the silk. After you weed it, you iron it onto your silk fabric, which was 80 mesh, which is what she also used. And then you can trim it out, and if you want, put painter's tape around it to help preserve your edges a little bit so that you can reuse them longer. They are reusable by washing them out. So we have this guy done with our white, so we're going to go to our other one. So you can actually create your own silk screens. It's Drew Woodward, D-R-U,
I found her, but I can't find the video.
and then Woodward, W-O-O-D, W-A-R-D, I think it is.
No.
Hmm?
Isn't this the video?
Yep, that's her.
But is that the right video?
So hold on, guys. Courtney's looking on her video, and I'm trying to look on her page to see the video.
Because she doesn't title anything.
That's probably it. Can you go, like, skip forward a little further in the video?
Yeah, bear with me.
Yep, that's
That's
it.
the one?
Yep.
Okay.
So Courtney's actually going to share the link to her video. It's really good information. She's a Dunkin' ambassador, and so she's got lots of experience, and that's where I seen how to do the silk screen. I know you could do it, and I just never took the time to figure it out. And getting the paint, the right texture, is a little bit of a chore, but I've kind of done that for you guys, so that's kind of the learning curve that I have, and that should help with the box when we get to doing that part of it. So it should be a fun box because the background technique of the gourd itself is a new technique, and I can actually show it to you. So this is the gourd for the August box. It's the large Mako gourd. So the background is painted rust, and then I used plastic wrap or saran wrap and wrinkled it up and dabbed it into orange peel and yellow lemon peel and dabbed it all over. Then I did our silk screen with our Welcome Autumn, and then our silk screen with our Dragonflies. The Welcome Autumn will be just a little bit bigger than this one. I did have the silk screens being made just a little bit bigger. And then the Dragonfly was a little too intricate, so we're just doing that solid color too, and then they're just randomly all over the gourd. And then you also get the larger Dragonfly gourd that we'll dry brush. And then you also get the piece of rope to put in your hole in your center. So this is your August box. Again, it's two new techniques really, your background technique and then also your silk screening. And you can get those on Brenda's brushstrokesandbisque.com if you haven't gotten one yet. So it should be a really fun box. We haven't used silk screen in our 2 years of doing the box. So we'll probably be doing it more in the future as well. So hopefully you guys like it. We'll probably finish that project in 2 nights, and then I didn't have time this week to get another example or sample made up. We'll do another project. So if you don't like that one, you could probably either get another gourd or save your gourd to the second project, and I'm not sure what it's going to be. I thought about doing a haunted house painted on there, so we'll have to see what we'll try to have time for it by next Thursday. So if you want, you can order extra gourds, or we had that chubby gourd that you could order. It's a little bit squattier, a little bit rounder and shorter than this one, but you can add that to your box too if you message Courtney. So if you want to do 2 projects, because we'll be able to do 2, because it's really a fast technique using the silk screen and then that saran wrap background. So we'll be able to do, and that way you can just pick one or the other once we get to actually doing it. So I'm just coming around my ornament here with our white, just dry brushing away, getting it kind of the same colored white as the other one. Not going into the center of the snowflake. I'm leaving that a little bit darker, just like we did with the other one, so there's more depth to it.
Are you going to have different silk screens? Question mark.
So we have a question, are we going to have different silk screens then? I'm not sure that I'm going to be doing a silk screen project on it. I'll have to talk to Courtney about that, because there's some logistics with that. It may be just a freehand project, or it may be, we may do like a crackle technique on it. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I guess maybe, what would you guys like to see done? Would you like to do some freehand painting, designing? So we'll have to get that one figured out yet. Just, we didn't have time this week. We kind of took 2 half days off. Last week we went to the daylily farm, and this week we went to the Monday we went to the lavender farm up in Door County. I poured molds and took molds apart before we went, and then I did the same thing when we got home, but I was still gone for the day, so that took a day's worth of work. Huh?
It felt like I lost a whole week.
Yeah, it felt like we lost a whole week, Courtney says. So it kind of set us behind a little bit on having time to do projects like
I thought it would be further ahead.
that. Yeah, I was hoping I'd had time today, but I just didn't. So Denise says not sure what I could do freehand. I would probably keep whatever we do freehand. It would be something pretty simple. Even if we did like the haunted house with the tree, it would be still pretty simple. Well, I'll figure something out. It'll be something new and probably something new and easy and different. We won't make it hard. Let's see, but it looked like you had a good day off. No, we did have a good day off. It was really hot though. Although it's up in Door County, so it's out in the middle of Lake Michigan, so that it was kind of cool up there, but when we had to stand in line for lunch, it was warm.
You had to get there by ferry.
Huh? Oh, we had to get to so it's actually an island. It's called Washington Island. It's off. When you look at the state of Wisconsin, there's this little arm that goes out. So it's up at the tip of that arm, and then you have to take a ferry to get to the Washington Island. So we actually took a ferry with the car. And then that was like a 40-minute drive or a boat ride with the ferry. And then we took the car so we didn't have to ride bikes or walk, because it's not a real big island. Like, I think they said 22 miles or something. And then we drove around. We went and seen one of the beaches, seen a couple other things, and then we watched. We ate lunch, but we had to stand in line for like an hour and 45 minutes for lunch. It was really good, and it was just for burgers and onion rings and fries and soda, but it was really good. So now I'm going to look at these guys. They look pretty equal, so that we'll let that at that now. And now I'm going to look at my little instructions again. And we can paint our little guy's hat black now. So we'll go back to our nylon brush and our black. And I have a size 3 nylon painting brush. So I'm just going to paint his little hat black. And then we were supposed to have storms that day, that afternoon too. So we left a little bit early, but actually we kind of left at a good time, because it was, the ferry quits at 6 o'clock, and I think we headed out about 3, huh? And then 3:30 maybe. You could tell the weather was changing as we were on the ferry. It got windier as we got back closer to the main area of Door County, the little arm that goes out. And then we stopped at another little shop on the way back, and Courtney and Jason got some, it's called Amish peanut butter, some horseradish, cherry horseradish sauce, because Door County's kind of known for its cherries too, and apples in the fall. So they got that. What did I get? I got a bag full of dried cherries that were covered in dark chocolate, and those were really good. Trying to think what everybody else got. I've Courtney got raspberry jam without seeds in it. I've had the cherry salsa from up there before, and that's really good. You wouldn't think it would be, but it's salsa with just a little bit of cherry flavor to it. So they just had a lot of cherry and apple-y and things like that. So Courtney actually brought her little jar here for me to show you guys. So this is the cherry horseradish sauce, and I think Courtney said Jason put that on crackers and cream cheese or something last night. And then this was the Amish peanut butter.
That's delicious.
It says it's got peanut butter, marshmallow cream, corn syrup, and maple flavoring in it. So that was really good. It's kind of like the peanut butter you used to mix with the Carol syrup when we were a kid.
It's just honey.
Oh, and then they also got some pure honey as well. So they just have lots of local things at the shop that we stopped at. So it was kind of fun to stop there. And then we headed back, and then we hit rain for, I don't know, probably half hour, 45 minutes, and it just poured and poured and poured. And then we got to Green Bay, and it was dry as could be. So, and then I think we got home, what time was it, like 7? 6:37? So it was a long day, but it was a really nice day.
Put the link to where we stopped.
Courtney says she put the link to where we stopped. Did they sell stuff online?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, and they sell stuff online, she said, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they had like pie fillings and
Yep, they had all kinds of stuff. There was a little bakery in there, and
dill pickle hot sauce.
dill pickle hot sauce, she said. Just all kinds of little, something nice to treat yourself to once in a while. Not that you go there every week and buy stuff, but
Was it a 2-hour ride or hour and a half?
2 hours. It's a 2-hour ride. It was probably just an hour and a half. Yeah,
Green Bay, I think.
from Green Bay, yeah. So we're just painting out our little hat with our black hair. So this one's going to be a little bit putzier just because we're painting stuff out instead of so much dry brushing. But we're kind of keeping it very purpley.
Louderback? Do you remember that place?
Huh?
Connie asked Louderback box.
I don't know. The wood marketplace was across the street from a new cheese place that I hadn't seen before.
There's a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff up there. We haven't been up there in a couple years, and
Oh my goodness, Barb said she honeymooned in Door County in December
Oh, really?
in a snowstorm.
oh wow, how cool, Barb. Well, so we had a guest at the classroom this week. One of our subscribers, Sherry from Knoxville, Kentucky, came on Saturday with Shelley.
Pretty cool.
So that was pretty cool. Now we're going to put up a map, like of the United States, and when we have visitors, they can pin their name to their city. So that's something we're going to do. So we have our black on, and I'm going to wash out my brush now. So she was excited to come and see us, and she visited and bought some bisque and picked out some greenware that I'm going to be cleaning, and Shelly's going to take down to her when she goes to see her. So that was a lot of fun to have one of our subscribers come all the way from Kentucky. So let's see, we did the hat black, paint the scarves and the mittens, and the largest gift purple. So we'll now go to purple, which is our OS 452. Give that a little shake. And we'll get some purple. So I gotta look at my little ornaments here so we can see what's purple. So their scarves are purple, so we'll start painting our scarves purple. So these guys are just kind of painted out now mostly. So we'll just get our couple other colors of purple on here. I'm just painting it out. Just using that same number 3 nylon brush. So it'll kind of make him come to life and not be so boring with just one color of the dark purple. Door County is a really very touristy area. And we're about 2 hours drive from there. We're more in central Wisconsin.
That's not bad though.
No. The cherry trees do really well up there, I think, because there's a lot of limestone, I think it is. And then I know one side of the lake is warmer than the other side too, as far as being able to swim. But it's always a little bit cooler up there than it is here. I think because it's out in the middle of the lake like that, that arm that goes out into the lake. There's lighthouses up there. I think there's a couple state parks actually. There's quite a bit to do if you're like looking for a vacation spot. It's a pretty hot place to go. We've seen cars with license plates from all over, from New Jersey to Mississippi to Tennessee, and really it's right in our backyard. And then you do have to go back and put that second layer on so you can't see the dark purple through it or the white. And you kind of got to keep spinning it around so you can get at the different angles. See, I think we talked about school with my great nephews, and they're like a month away from school starting already, which is hard to believe. So summer's kind of coming to a close here. They're working on their kids are working on their fair projects. See, I got some more cement blocks today to work in the storage unit. So hopefully it cools off so we can get our projects done that we need to get done here in August, because I'm sure the month's going to go by super fast. Oh, and look at there. I forgot to do our Snowman Face, you guys. I got to do him in the white, too. Must be tired, I'm guessing, here a little bit. We'll have to go back and do that, but that's okay. It's been quite a while since I painted these, so I kind of forget what all the little steps were. Courtney's ready to have fall and Halloween poured.
I'm in Halloween mode.
She says she's in Halloween mode.
I got some stuff planned for them.
She says she's got cool stuff planned for you guys, like what? You haven't included me in.
Nope, it's secret.
Secrets? We don't want secrets.
It's a surprise. That sounds better.
It was a surprise. Yeah, but I should know about it.
You do if you remember. You don't remember much these days.
Nope, that's what happens when you're tired.
I did tell you.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. She says she told me, but I don't recall. Okay, so then we got his little purple scarf done. Let's see, it looks like I did his mittens in purple too, so we might as well do those quick. I'm not sure what she's got up her sleeve, but
We talked about it.
really. Well, I'm guessing when you tell me, I'll know what it is.
Mm-hmm. They all want
They all want fall? Okay, everybody's ready for fall? Sick of the heat? I'm not ready for fall. I got too much to do. Need to do some house cleaning so the electric guy can come. So we can get our kiln hooked up in the garage.
Has the video been freezing when you're watching other people's lives?
Huh?
Has the video been freezing when you watch other people's lives?
I haven't really watched much.
Okay.
It hasn't been too bad though.
It's been doing it very better than it's
Right, it's better than it's been. I mean, it might be just a little bit, but not much. I mean, I watched Michael's last night. It was pretty decent as far as not freezing. Yeah.
I did look into it, and it said you need to make sure that your device is up to date with all of its updates, and that you are running the latest Facebook update.
So Cordy says to make sure you're running the latest Facebook updates, and then that your device is updated. That will help with the freezing, and it'll also help with the comment, the way your comments come through. That will help with that too.
That was the number one culprit when I researched.
So I'm going to put him down and go to our girl. Let that purple dry and touch up a little bit. So let's see, our first package is purple, and I'm going to read my directions here. Mitten scarves and the headband and the middle gift. Nope, that's avocado. Scarves, and the largest gift is purple. So we're going to do this one in purple. So I've switched to the girl now, and I'm doing the bottom gift with our purple. And I'm just using that number 3 nylon brush and just painting it out. Just going around the outline of it, kind of like coloring in a coloring book. Just with liquid color. And then we're also going to do her mittens. We've been checking on the LP for the classroom and kind of been hearing that there's a shortage of LP, but I hope that's not the case.
I think it is.
Cordy says she thinks it is. So with a little luck, let's hope not. So we're just going to paint out our mittens here with our purple. Hopefully you guys can see it. I kind of got to tip it so I can see. So these are kind of a combination with the dry brushing and the painting. So you can do both on one piece. You don't have to just dry brush or just paint. So it's pretty versatile as far as ceramics. You can do different things on the same piece. So we have one layer on there, so we'll let that dry. And now we'll put a layer on her other mitten over here. And you just line it out right where the mitten meets the other areas. You kind of stop right where they meet. You don't want to go past it. Then it'll look like it's overpainted, kind of like I did on that gift there, but I know I'm going to be coming back and painting that, so it's okay. Cordy did put in a brush order, so we're waiting on brushes again. Cordy said everybody liked the liners. You're cleaned out. She's cleaned out the liners.
I did find another one of them
Oh, okay. And let's see, now we have to do her little ear muffs and her scarves. So again, I'm just using the purple. And we forgot to do her white too, so we'll have to go back and do that because we don't want a purple snow lady. Just lining out our scarf here. And our other ear muff. So you could do these in other colors too. What?
Talking about vinyl records.
Huh?
Vinyl records in the comments.
Vinyl records, what about it?
Gail joked and said LP was for long plain records.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of those.
That's what I just said.
I know they call the gas in the submarine tanks here, they call it LP. I don't know what the L is, but
Liquid.
P is oh yeah, liquid propane. So I even have the original Michael Jackson's Thriller album in my cedar chest.
You giving it up?
I don't think it's worth any money though.
I don't know. Too many of them?
I don't know. I've looked a couple times and they're not really worth nothing. I was hoping maybe one day it would be. Couldn't get that lucky.
Your Prince ones might have been when he first passed.
Yeah, they have prints in there too.
So they're probably worth more for their artwork.
Yeah. I mean the albums, yeah.
Like I would
The album
frame that.
covers.
I'd frame it and put it on the wall.
Right. Yeah, if you had a music room or something.
Just a room.
So now we're painting out the rest of her scarf here. You'll probably be carting them to the dump someday.
Oh, I'd probably keep them.
Well,
Not all of them.
not all of them, she says, you guys. There's probably like 300 of them in there, I think.
That's what I mean. Those are all good.
Well, it all depends what kind of music you like to listen to.
All different kinds.
So we're just painting out our purple here. It's just a little time consuming, but it's just one of those things. So I do have the samples for the September box poured, but I gotta get those cleaned and fired and samples painted up so we can show you got those on the 12th.
Well, that's a good idea.
What?
Gail said you should play the LPs at the farmhouse.
I thought about that, but I don't know if anybody's gonna like. It's a lot of R&B music, and I don't know that they're gonna like that.
Pick up some.
There's jazz in there too, though. Huh?
Pick up some country ones.
Get a little more purple here.
How old are you when you bought them?
Like 20. Would have been from 81 to 84.
You'd go to a
85.
record store and buy it?
Yeah. Well, they had them on base too, right in the stores, like Kmart and all them places. They all had them. But you could go to record stores too.
I don't even know if you can buy a CD at Walmart.
I don't know what Walmart sells anymore. I don't go in there too much.
Target has LPs.
Target has LPs, really?
Small selection, yeah.
Like old ones or
No,
new release ones?
They do limited releases on new stuff.
Oh. I mean, now people, I think, just buy the download of the one song that they like. Like, they don't buy the whole album and listen to it like they used to. So we're just painting out our purple, giving it another coat because we can see through our first layer here, and we don't want to be able to see through it, so we're just putting on another little layer quick. And we'll put her down and we'll go back to our boy so I can see through his mittens a little bit. So we're going to just put one more layer on there quick. So he's starting to come to life. It's kind of just like coloring in a coloring book. We're just following the lines of our scarf and our mittens. So it's not hard. People think like painting is hard, but it's really not hard. You just follow the lines.
They asked if I was only child.
Well, they asked if you were Gordy's only child. Why? Why do you think Gordy is an only child? She is an only child, though.
You were saying I'm gonna throw your stuff out after you're
Oh,
gone.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
I don't like to keep things.
I told her just to give everything to the Boys and Girls Club or 4-H or something. Instead of throwing it out, especially my craft stuff, because she don't like craft stuff, so.
I don't like stuff.
So I've been cleaning in the garage, and I just kind of been tossing stuff because I know I'm never gonna have time to make or do what I had planned to do with it. So, kind of been tossing. I had a bunch of wine and liquor bottles that I was gonna make into butterflies and paint them and weld them into bottle trees and all that, but like there just isn't time for it, and we kind of need the room for mix stuff, and I know she's never gonna mess with it, so
Went straight to there and
so there. I did keep one Rubbermaid bucket of bottles that were all the different shaped bottles, because I
kept all the blue.
and I kept the blue ones too, so I can make a bottle tree for just for myself. So I do have one tub of miscellaneous bottles, but they're all different ones. And then those Patron ones I didn't throw. I didn't know if you wanted to, because I know people were buying those at one time.
To sell them on the black market. Oh my god. To sell them on the black market. I don't know where.
What do you mean the black market?
I don't think you can like post them anywhere.
Oh, really?
They're all liquor bottles.
I don't know.
Get
They.
me shut down and locked up.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes you see them for sale on like the marketplace and stuff.
What else do you find in the garage?
Oh, cassettes are becoming popular, really? Oh man. Bite your tongue, throw it in the yeah.
Mixtapes holding back.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we have our purple on. So let's see. I think we're gonna go back and do our lilac and white on our little faces, just so we can get that caught up. And I'm gonna need a littler brush for that. So I have a little size 0 here, just because I don't want to get my purple all over my scarf and that. So we're just gonna dry brush on our little faces here and get them caught up, because I missed those when we were dry brushing. I know there's 2 tents out there. We have to figure out what to do with those. And
One of them is good.
well, there's that cabin tent though. You probably don't want that.
Probably not.
And I'm not gonna camp no
The
more.
one I took to Oklahoma I would use.
Yeah. So we're just gonna dry brush our face with our lilac on both our little guys. Our guy and our girl, I should say. And I'm just using a size 0 brush just because it's a little area. So when you have a little area, you just want to switch to a smaller brush. And you just want to get your whole face. It's okay if you get it on the carrot. That's not going to hurt nothing. We'll cover that up with the rust. And now we'll go to our girl. And we'll get our lilac on her. Well, there was some wood boards and a couple wood panels up in the top.
Good suitcases.
The suitcases are there yet. I can't get to those yet.
You might find somebody that wants to paint them.
Levi and I took some stuff out of the rafters. That dog cage, I gave that away. I gave that to them because I'm not going to have a dog. And if I did, it wouldn't be a big dog.
That was a big dog cage.
Huh?
That was a big one.
Yeah. So we're just dry brushing our girl's face here, getting her with the lilac on it. We may have to go back and touch up our purple, but that's okay. I do have some old windows up there. I got to dig those up, but I'm not convinced to get to part with them. Yeah, I'm not going to throw them out or give them away yet. Then there's a bunch of barn boards up there too that I got. I think to paint Santas and snowman on. I'm probably not going to.
I can put them in the.
Oh, they could probably go in the storage unit too. No, there's like 30 of them. You're not going to want them at the farmhouse.
I can put a couple and see how they do.
Oh, painted? Yeah.
No, like
Just the boards
yeah, to
themselves?
paint them.
Oh, to paint on?
Jason got some really cool.
Well, I'm sure they would sell, but I don't know that I want to part with them.
I'll show you what Jason got the other day.
So we're just getting our lilac on our little guy here. And now we will switch to our white, which is OS 431 white. If nothing else, I could probably have a class at the farmhouse with the barn boards or something, I'm not sure. And we'll go back to our little man with our white now, and we're just going to dry brush the white on our snowman and change him from lilac to white just to make him look like he's more snowy. But he's still going to have that nice purple hue under him, underneath his color. So a barn door class. Good for picture frames. Yeah, they're good for lots of stuff. I mean, people even put them in their house on their walls. There's even enough to do that in a little area. And they're actually from a wagon that was painted red on the farm that I grew up with. So I don't know. They're not going in the garbage though. So.
He saved these from a project. I thought they might be like a cool snowman.
Oh
or
yeah, so
something.
Cordy says Jason saved these from a project. Yep, they'd be, any of that little stuff is good stuff, but then you collect it and then where do you go with all of it? I have like 4 boxes of pot lids out there that I paint into snowmen, but like I haven't had time to paint them into snowmen, so that would actually be a good class too. So we're just doing our white now on our girl, just so she's not all lilac-y as well, but we still got that purple hue underneath there, which makes just makes the snowman look, give him a lot of character instead of just having black or gray underneath them. I'm just using that size 0 brush so I can kind of control where my paint is going, and not get everything full of white here. Okay, so we got that done. And we'll come back and give him just a little more. And then we have to touch up where I got our white on our hat here. Okay. Okay, we'll wash out our brush. And I'll go back to my purple and touch up my purple areas that might have got white on them. So you do have to kind of go back and forth and touch stuff up if you miss a step, and even if you don't miss a step, you kind of have to sometimes. So. Okay, we'll get his little scarf here where we got white on it touched up too. Alright, and we'll wash our brush out. So now we can move on with our instructions. So we're gonna do our avocado color. So we need avocado. So we have OS 466 avocado, and if anyone's painting those old trucks, This avocado is a great color for on those old trucks. We had a few ladies do that, and it looks really, really nice.
Doc Holiday Navy.
And Doc Holiday Navy, Courtney says.
But I'm out of it.
Which we're out of it. Okay.
But it's a beautiful color.
So we are going to do our little avocado areas. So where's the brush you said I could try?
You just gave it, so I took it back.
Oh, I didn't know you were handing it to me. Okay, so she gave me a 4585 liner. Oh, that's really long. I don't want that for
It's
this.
a script liner.
Yeah, it's a script liner. So here's another liner she just found.
I think they sent it on accident.
Oh,
It's a 4,
but
5,
I
9,
probably
5.
ordered it to try it.
That's what you said the last one, but I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe because I keep not getting it. Someone's not passing it down.
I don't know about that. I think it was just mixed in.
Well, let's use it. So this is a 4585 script liner, 50. So we're gonna try it.
It's like that 4595, but it's a script.
Yep, it's just a longer liner. So we're gonna load our liner up with our avocado, and we're going to trim out our scarf here where the avocado goes, and we're gonna try this liner and see how we like it. So it's working good so far. Look at that.
I like script.
But I like script liners. Yep, I do. 'Cause you can usually go pretty far with them with the color in it. So you want a smaller brush anyway when you're doing this little detail area. You don't want to use a big brush so you're getting your green all over and then you have to go back and touch up your purple. So I am using a liner. The 3 would probably be a little bit too big. So you might want like a size 1 brush otherwise. But that, like this script liner works good. You can get nice straight lines along your edges here. And then just fill it in. So these are a little bit putzier because we're not just dry brushing, we're dry brushing and painting. And then we got our little detailed areas as far as the decorations on the scarves and the mittens. And we're just doing where the zigzags areas are. So I thought I'd sleep in this morning, but the darn cat, he don't like that. Oh, he did more meowing and walking on my head and headbutting me and stood on my arm, and man, I was ready to get rid of him. Because you can't just lock him out of the bedroom because then he body slams the door, so it's kind of a losing battle.
He's got a lot of years left.
So I just got up. I was like, oh, just forget it. And I can put up with the meowing, but man, when he's walking over my head, it's just more than I can take. So 9 o'clock is his limit. If I'm not up by then, he's melting down. And then when I get up, he goes to bed. So I could just about kill him.
You wouldn't miss him if he was gone.
Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't miss him, but
I would probably get a dog.
a dog? Nope, I don't want no dogs either.
You like one kind of dog.
Yeah, I like Pomeranians, but I don't like going outside in the winter. Let them out.
Get a dog door.
A dog door? Yeah, then the raccoons will come in the house. Alright, so now we're going to go on to our girl and get her little mittens.
They keep the cat company.
They'd keep the cat company? Oh yeah, they'd have everybody up.
Oh,
The cat?
yeah.
I don't know, we'd have to figure it out. He's got to be like 9 years old already.
He's probably got another 9 years.
He's probably got another 9 years, is right. He ain't got no gray hair yet.
He did slow down a little bit.
Yep, but he won't let you sleep past 9 o'clock. Okay, so we have our middle packages green here too, so we'll get that with our liner. Just because we got some little areas and can get that in there real nice with that. And we'll get up to our mitten. So we got a couple kids that are taking stuff to the 4-H. 4-H stuff to the fair, so I guess we'll have to go to the fair this year and check it out, because last year we didn't have the fair, so they couldn't take their stuff. One of them stuff was supposed to go to state fair last year. I wonder if they'll take it this year now for him, because he shouldn't have to miss out just because of COVID. I'll have to ask about that once. So we're just painting our avocado on our package here. It's just a nice color to go with the kind of the muted purple. Once it's lined out, you could switch to a little bit bigger brush to fill it in, but then it's just another dirty brush, so I usually just fill it in with my liner. And then let's see, we have her other mitten and we have her little bow up here on her head, so we'll do her little headband too. I'm guessing Hobby Lobby's all full of Christmas stuff by now. I should make a road trip there one day, see what's going on before it's all picked over. So we're just lining out our headband. So you can, hopefully you can see, so we have our avocado, and then we have our darker purple, and then we have our lilac, and then our white, so that gives us that nice gradual shading, so our piece has light and lots of depth and interest to it. I'm talking about everything but painting here tonight, the way it sounds like.
We covered all kinds of topics.
All kinds of topics, yep. So it looks like the earmuffs I did with, highlighted them with the lilac, so we won't put the green on there, but you could put the green on there too if you wanted, or pink, or whatever. You guys can always paint your stuff other colors. You're not committed to, you don't have to do the colors I do. It's just that that's the sample colors, and we just paint the pieces on camera the way the samples were painted so you can see them. So we're just lining out our little hair bow here. See, I noticed it's getting darker later in the morning and earlier at night.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's see, we got her scarf here, and then her mittens, and then we'll have all our green on. You can see these take a little bit more time than the blue set did with just the dry brushing on it. But both ways are nice, you just get a different look with them. So it's nice to have different looks and not everything the same. And I do have quite a few more of these poured if anyone wants to add them to their box too. A few people have been doing that. I think they liked them more after they got them in their hands and could see them.
A lot are doing them for their grandkids.
Pretty said a lot are asking for them for their grandkids, so.
Like to make one for each child.
One for each child, yep. And then, I mean, you can do them in different colors and make them boys or girls or whatever. Okay, so we'll put her down. We'll come back to, oh, we got to do her mitten yet. So your August molds are Mako molds, and then your September molds are going to be Donna molds, so we'll be having a different mold company again.
It's back to Mako.
And then we'll be back to Mako for October. And then we think January, no, or November, December is going to be Clay Magic. So we haven't had time to sit down and pick out what they are yet, but I'm just touching up our green again just to make sure we can't see through it. So we'll come back to our girl and get our package with a little more. I have a little bit of see-through areas here.
I'm hoping to do Creative Paradise next year.
Courtney says she hopes we can do Creative Paradise next year.
I get a palette from them.
You always wanted to do those Noel stack things too and stuff, so I don't know.
That may be an option even for December. Maybe.
I don't know, we could get them at the show, but we'd have to let them know in the next couple days here.
Do they know what the Noel stacker things are?
I don't know, does anyone know what the Noel stack pieces look
Are
like?
those pieces they like?
Or is there pieces that you like from Noel's? I'm just touching up her little headband and her packages and her mittens just so we don't see any of our undercolored through it. Usually the stackers, they can be different things, a bunch of pumpkins, a stack of pumpkins, or a stack of crows, or a stack of Santas, or a stack of turkeys.
Not with this.
What? Yeah, that might be good for
7
Jan-
inches.
February or something.
I like that.
It'll take a late kit.
Okay.
Okay, so we got our green done, so I'm going to wash out my brush. And let's see what's next. We are going to do our silver with our liner. So now we need our silver. Our UM956 silver, UM956 silver, and we'll get a little bit of that. And then when I'm loading up my liner, I like to draw my liner through it, through my paint, and then do a little turn in between my thumb and my forefinger, and that loads that paint right into those bristles, and it puts a point. Hopefully you can see that it puts a point onto the brush, and according to my screen is looking like I don't see my, all I see is ornaments yet. So I'm just drawing my brush through that silver to load that into the liner, and that'll make it a lot easier to go with, or a lot further. You'll be able to go a lot further with your lines. So I'm just going to outline my little lines here where the silver is. So you can see how you can go pretty far with that silver when you load it up in that brush like that. And then just keep going back and loading it up. Is it just the tablet, or?
It's just the tablet.
Oh, don't worry about it then. I just wanted to make sure they could see what I was doing. I think my tablet's on its way out.
This is Jason's.
Oh, that's Jason's?
Your tablet
Oh.
needs to be laid to rest.
Well, it's just slow. You just gotta give it time to load. So we're just lining out our lines with our liner where the kind of the little designs are in our scarf and our mittens. So you can see a nice liner makes it a pretty easy job. So this is a script liner, which I kind of favor script liners because the bristles are longer and you can get a little more paint in them and go a little bit further. A lot of people are afraid of them, but once you use them a few times, You get used to it. You get used to them, and you'll actually like them, I think. They're probably one of my favorite brushes is the script liners. And so I'm just going where the diamonds or the V's are in the scarf, and then along the bottom and the top of the where the green and the purple meet. And then you want to rest your, I mean, I'm trying to hold it up so you guys can see further, but normally I'd be holding it on the table. And then I rest my painting hand on my piece so I have a nice steady hand for that nice steady straight line. And then just go back and get your silver and just keep loading it up. And we're just doing our little zigzags. You can see that brings a lot of life to the piece because it's just nice and shiny and sparkly. And then I'm drawing my brush towards me. It's just easier to draw it towards you than to pull it away from you. Although once in a while you have to, like right here, to get that corner. Or you can turn your piece so you can make sure you're drawing it towards you. So there's his nice little X's on there. And now we'll come over to our other mitten. So he's moving along, even though he's slow, he's moving along. We're getting him done. Again, I'm resting that one of my fingers on there so it's a nice and steady for drawing those lines. And I'm just going right where the purple and the green meet. There's kind of an indent in the bisque, and you want to go right where that is. And if your paintbrush seems like it gets clogged up and this paint's not coming out, you can wash it out, which is what I'm going to do right now. And then I tap it, get that water out of there, and then I'm going to load it back up by drawing it through my paint and doing that little twist in the hand. So now it's loaded back up. So let's see, where else does he have silver? Oh, I gave him some little silver tassels. So I just drew a bunch of little silver lines where his little scarf end is. And then we did it on the bottom part here too. So just kind of start with where the silver and the green meet, and then just kind of draw paint downward just to give some little lines like they're little tassels tied onto the end of his scarf. Okay, so we can set him aside, and now we can go to our girl. She's got a lot more silver on her. So let's see, we'll start with her mittens here. So just lining everything out, nothing hard. Is the ornament in the picture, Cordy? Because I really can't tell at all. No, okay. Because I tend to want to draw it towards me when I get to this part.
One thing after the other over here.
Right? Wait, I thought you were watching.
Yeah, but I had this fixed.
Oh. Oh yeah. So I tend to hold, when I'm doing lines, I tend to hold the piece really close to me. Just kind of helps control that steadiness. So I'm kind of holding it out in mid-air here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're just doing our zigzags on our scarves and mittens with the silver. And then we do our little line that connects the purple and the green, just to set that off a little more. And back to our zigzags. And do our top and bottom where the purple and the green meet. So I didn't do it on mine, but on there's little stitch marks, so you could actually do it on the little stitches of their coats too if you wanted. Let's see, where else did we put? We put silver on the, made little silver dots on our green part, so we can do that. And for that, we'll just use a ball stylus and dip into our silver. And then you just touch down onto your, go straight down onto your present, and that will add our little dots. If you don't have a ball stylus, you can use the end of a small paintbrush and just put your random little polka dots on the middle present. And sometimes you can get two, and sometimes you only can get one dot. And you just keep going back and loading it up. You could do random size, different size dots if you use different ball styluses. So we got our dots on there. And then I also did our little frame around our pieces with silver, and then our little background. So we can do that just to do one of them to show you. Again, I just used my liner and draw it towards me, anchoring that hand right on the ornament. Again, I'm using like my fourth fingers doing it. And we'll come right up to our scarf, and then come right down where that little groove is that's in the ornament, and you can kind of see right where the silver should be going. It's just that little frame that she's sitting inside of. And then fill it in. So does everyone have their ornaments already finished, or are you guys painting along? I know we've seen a few finished ones posted. They all look really good. Nope, and I forgot our little zigzags in this mitten, so we might as well go back and do that. Again, you can see I'm resting that fourth finger on there just to anchor that hand so it's not out in midair and getting jiggy-jaggy lines. Or ziggy-zaggy lines. And then I turn it so I can draw it towards me. It just makes it a lot easier to draw it towards you than to paint it away from you. Okay, so we got her done there. So now we can go back to outlining our little frame here. And you just want to anchor that painting hand kind of on your piece and anchor that piece. Normally I would have it down on the table or on my lap, but I'm trying to hold it up so you guys can see better. Let's see, I don't think we did any experimenting things this week. Last week we did the resin, but I don't think we had time this week. for any little extras because we were gone on Monday. So we'll just keep lining out our frame here. And then I didn't put the silver glitter on this one, but you could if you wanted to, like we did last week on the other one. Just to show you guys that they can be done differently. And you could use different, you wouldn't even have to use the metallics on here. You could just use different colors if you wanted. No, I just did the mitten. Whoop. I just did the mitten because I had missed it, yeah. So I'm actually going to anchor my hand right on the middle of my presents here so I can get around my silver and not get my hand in the silver. And then I just kind of outline it on both sides and then go back and fill it in. Paint it out so there's no puddles and ridges. Huh?
Some people are behind and some are finished.
Some are finished and some are behind. It's probably behind because it's summer. It's hard to find time to paint when it's summer, and I think
these are Christmas though.
Yeah, at least they're Christmas. Yep. So you have time to get them done. And the gourd's going to be really easy, even though it's we're learning two different techniques. It's pretty simple. The hardest part will probably be doing the silk screening part and getting the paint the right consistency. But I'll be able to show you guys that on this video, or the painting live. I had to do it a few times to get it the right consistency, so now I know what consistency it kind of needs to be. It's a lot thicker than I thought it needed to be, so it doesn't bleed underneath. Okay, so we have her outline. So you can see she's just starting to come to life. You can even see compared to him, like that silver frame adds a lot of, just a lot of color to it. And then we can go to the back, and just the same thing, just kind of outline the whole thing. I just start in one area, and again, I'm actually resting my little finger on the ornament and just drawing my liner around it. Just load it up and keep going. And then I'm actually going to turn it now because I don't want to get all the way around, and then I have wet paint, so now I'll still be on this side. You can see I'm pulling it towards me. So I do the outside and then the inside line, and then I go back and fill the middle in. And now I'm kind of turning back, and we'll keep going. You could probably paint like I think it's the sparklers. Is that the stuff with the bigger glitter? You could use that on these two. It'd make nice snowflakes too instead of the metallics. So there's just a ton of different ways you guys could do these. You could paint the pearlescent on it. Then it would still have that purple hue to it, but it would be pearly, kind of glistening, like a frosty snowflake. So you want to be careful now when you come around that your paint is dry, you don't get your little finger in wet paint and get your whole ornament full of silver paint. So kind of do the outside line, the inside line, and then fill the middle in. Just that little bit of silver paint really makes them kind of pop. And then you wouldn't have to do the snowflake if you didn't want to, but I did, so we'll kind of do the snowflake here quick too. And you just kind of outline it. And then fill it in. So is everyone waiting for fall for it to cool off, or you're just enjoying summer? Oh, Paula says hers are still wrapped. Oh boy, Paula, you better get them open to make sure they're not broke. They shouldn't be, but when you guys get your boxes, the sooner you can open them to make sure nothing's broke. If we have to file a claim, the better. We haven't had bad luck with it, but
since the horrid month of February.
Huh?
Not since there was January.
Yeah, since the
welcome
rock and the stepping stone, but you never know.
I don't have any stepping stones or I've broken.
Oh no, stepping stones? No.
No.
Oh, just
that welcome rock.
Yeah, because that rock was kind of hollow.
I know how to pack it now.
Yep, it's all a learning lesson. So we're just lining out our little snowflake. You can see he's just kind of coming to life as we get our silver on it here. And I need a little more silver. It's kind of like learning to pour. They're all different when you pour them too. Just lining out our silver and making our flashy little snowflake here. So how are we doing on time?
Oh, you're over. It's 8:35.
Oh, 8:35. So you can see what I'm doing with the snowflakes, so you guys can just finish lining out the other one just like this. And I'll finish this one up here, and actually we could probably call it quits. You guys don't have to watch me just line out a snowflake. I can show you the box again for August. And then I can finish this off camera, but you're just basically outlining your silver on your snowflake on the back. If you wanted to use gold or a different color, you could do that too. Or if you wanted to leave it, you could do that too. Nothing's written in stone. We're easy. But you can do that on with the other ornament as well. I'll try to do that before next week, and then we will go then and finish off there. We have another package to do. On the bottom package, we have faces to do. We have his skis to do, and then his little hat band too. I think we've missed that with the green too. So we'll finish these guys up next week. We should be able to, I think, or get close to it. And then we can show you the August box one more time. So this is the August box again. It's the large Mako gourd with the Dragonfly. with the new background technique, and then also the silkscreen autumn, welcome autumn, and dragonflies. And you can purchase it on brendasbrushstrokesandbisque.com, or you can become a subscriber and automatically get sent our boxes. Or if you just want the one, you can do the one-time purchase. Courtney's going to share the link. So here's our snowflakes that we're working on. We'll have 2 more sessions with these guys, and then we'll have those finished up. Next week we should be able to get close to finishing the purple ones. We did the blue ones last week, and then we will pick up with our white ones.
Can you tell Elizabeth what your trick is to that welcome stone?
So what's the trick to pouring the welcome stone? Mine keeps collapsing on the back. Yep, so after you have to pour the slip out really slow so it doesn't like suck it in and collapse it, and then I let it drain for a little until it becomes dry and not wet. And then I have some little pieces of foam, like the egg crate foam. It's like 3 inches by 2 inches, and it's about this thick. I stick that in the mold between the top and the bottom on all 4 sides. So I stick 4 pieces in there so it doesn't collapse, and then I leave it turned up so that the back is open with those sponge pieces in there, and I let that overnight. And then in the morning I take it apart and I put it on my piece of drywall, and then where the middle of that rock is, you flip it on there so it has the welcome up on top, but I put a sponge underneath it, so it would be underneath it, holding that from the center from collapsing down. So it's a little bit of a process as far as that thing, because I do put the 4 pieces as soon as the slip is dried when it's draining, like underneath the lip. And then the next day when it comes out, I put another, you can actually take those 4 out then and then just put 1 in the center. So when you open it and it's got welcome on the top, there's something underneath there supporting it. And like I said, I just use a piece of sponge, like the egg crate sponge. I mean, they're like 1.5 inches thick, and then I just cut them into like a 3-inch strip. So that's what I do with that. So good luck with that, but that should really help a lot. I use those sponges actually quite a bit for different stuff, so supporting pieces. So hopefully that helps you. If you don't, you can send a message and I can try to explain it a little better, or even take some pictures and show it to you, where the sponges, where I put the sponges, if you need me to do that.
Brush they're getting in their August box.
So this is the brush that you'll be getting in your August box. It's your nylon size 5. Hopefully you can see that.
You can take it out.
We are out of order with them because we couldn't get them in order. But you'll be getting the size 5 nylon brush in your August box as well. And then Courtney's got a couple other little quick things for me to show you guys, because we ran out of time last week. So we did get 9 new inserts for the Donna inserts, and she does have them on the website. But we have and you can message her if you want any of these. They're the 6 for $20. And you can combine these with the old ones. So we have the new honeybee insert. We have the dragonfly insert, and I think Wanda had asked for this one a long time ago, so make sure she gets that. We have the frog one, which is with the dragonfly. He's actually one of my favorites. We have the hummingbird, which is really awesome too. We have the snowmen. It's 3 little snowmen. We have the fishing lodge now. We had the hunting lodge before, but we have the fishing lodge now. And then we just have some fall ones. We have the acorns, little red berries, and the oak leaves. Then we have the Thanksgiving turkey guy with some pumpkins and looks like apples. And then we also have another fall one, which is the pheasants with the farm scene in the background. So you can message Courtney if you want any of those, but you can combine these with the 6 for $20 with the other ones that we had before too. And you can go on brendasbrushstrokesandbisque.com, and Courtney does have those. She actually got the link on there for you guys. So these are the new ones that we just got. So these are brand new molds that we got when we got our clay So if anybody wants any of those, just send us a message. They're $4 each or 6 for $20, and you can mix and match with the old ones too. And these also fit in the welcome rock. And then we have a little basket, a little 3-inch basket. I ordered the basket, but I didn't realize there was a lid that came with it because it didn't have A or B on it, and that's on its way also. But that probably won't be able to go until the next box. But these will fit in that little 3-inch basket too. It's really cute. So I think that is about it for tonight. So this is what we'll be working on for the next week, getting your next box ready for you guys. And if you need anything, send us a message. If you haven't heard from Courtney, you probably will be if you ordered from the show last week. She's going to be working on getting all the invoices straight. And everybody's stuff organized and accounted for. So you'll be getting messages and then your invoice probably on Sunday and Monday, and then we'll get to shipping your stuff, and then we'll be with you guys again on Thursday night working on our ornaments. So I hope you guys have a great week again and stay cool and safe and all that good stuff and healthy, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining us.